So Nintendo, a trillion-dollar company, is getting bullied by people over the internet for their own actions, and of course we can't have that, and we have to do something. What is going on, you guys? It is the Daily Pleb here. Make sure you're liking and subbing for more content. So this is coming from the game's radar. Public outrage amid Palworld lawsuit likely influenced new scrutiny of Nintendo's Pokemon patent, IP expert speculates. But it's debatable if giving that power to people over the internet who scream loudly enough is a good thing. And of course, the expert in question is an IP attorney by the name of Andrew H. Velzen. And this is the question that was asked that I found his response to be kind of interesting. Could this particular re-examination be a harbinger of things to come in the future? Or is it more of a one-off aberration from the patent office? Could we see the public potentially influencing future action around other patents, and would that be a good thing? Now, I can answer this, as I'm sure many of you at home can as well. Yes, it's a fantastic thing. The fact that we have a patent office for creative works is stupid altogether, especially for something as vague as summoning a monster. It's dumb. Anyone can tell you it's dumb. And considering patents are generally just, let me write something up, let me pay money, boom, it's a patent, the public should be able to kind of reach out and be like, hey, this patent is too broad, we think it would be bad for the industry, we think it would be bad for the consumer, which is the more important part, not the company, the consumer. And we would like someone to reevaluate this, put some fresh eyes on it, and maybe, change your opinion. This is obviously a great thing. Anyone who thinks otherwise, I'm sorry, you're just a shill. And that's just really all there is to it. So this is how he would respond to that. If the re-examination was indeed because of the public discourse and vitriol against what is perceived as an inadequate patent examination, or something, whether or not we see this more in the future is an interesting question. If it turns out that enough commentators in the public decrying what they think is a patent that shouldn't have been issued, which it is, and they can sort of force the director's hand to look at more patents, I think there's an argument to be made whether that's good or not. It is good. I, as a citizen of the US, should be able to say, hey, this is dumb. Guys at the US Patent Office, can we get a look at this? Can we look? Can we maybe change some things? That's a great thing. Once again, I'm sure it's a bad thing for an IP lawyer when, your job is to go to bat for these companies. But for the consumer, it is a wonderful thing. Something that I hope becomes more common with this sort of Nintendo Pocket Pair backlash. Plenty of gamers are happy to take out their pitchfork and argue against things, especially, Redditors or what have you. Now, it is funny to see the word Redditor be used as an insult in like a more relaxed setting. It always is nice to see Redditors get dunked on, but gamers being happy to take out their pitchforks and argue against things is something that gamers do when something is garbage, and let's just dispel this. There's plenty of people who are on Nintendo's side, by the way. There's tons of people who are more than happy to shill for a trillion-dollar company that cares nothing for them, continues to raise prices on their products and under-deliver on every single promise. I mean, look at the new Pokemon game. There's still shills for that game as well, and it's garbage. So let's not pretend they argue against everything gamers do. And secondly, gamers should argue against this because it's an action that affects gamers the most. If I was a moviegoer and a patent would make it to where a certain camera couldn't be used on movie sets, I'd be mad because I watch movies. Like, come on. Shouldn't be hard to put two and two together. Hope that wasn't too confusing. Got a little passionate there. And if that's something that can move the patent office to act, I think there are some ways in which I could see that being valuable, and certainly it would feel like maybe that is a useful kind of doing part of the patent office job for them in calling out poor patents. Okay, so we are in agreement and that it is valuable and that people should be able to tell the patent office, hey, can we get fresh eyes on this situation? Glad we agree there. On the other side of the coin, I don't think anyone would want to be in a regime where just because a handful of people on the internet scream loudly enough about something, it invalidates actual innovation and prevents people from pursuing things that are actually benefiting the gaming industry, Velzen suggests. So I would love how he thinks locking certain innovations for gaming behind a legal wall, a legal battle, so to speak, helps the gaming industry at any point in time. You know, something that I like to bring up when we talk about patents for gaming is the Nemesis system in Shadow of War. Well, it was patented. You cannot use that. And basically, if you don't know what the system was, let's say I'm fighting an enemy and the enemy kills me. Well, it's not game over. The whole world doesn't reset. But that enemy gets stronger. And in fact, next time I meet that enemy, they boast. They're like, hey, I killed you. Thanks to you, I'm now a higher level in the army. You want to come back for more, scrub? Right? And you could have your own little storylines within a singular game, and it was an amazing feature for the time. But of course, it was patented. And yeah, how is that an innovation for gaming? Because you can't make a system like that anymore until the patent is over. It makes no sense how you could even put 2 and 2 together, that locking things behind a legal battle is beneficial for gaming. It's just so stupid. So I think there's arguments to be had on both sides of that. There is if you're a moron, and it'll be interesting to see if this plays out with more of these coming down in the future, or is it just a one-off case? My personal hope is this continues. Nintendo has been a plague on the gaming industry long enough. Sure, some of their games are pretty decent, but that does not explain that you can't just go around and kick over people's sandcastles because they're better than yours. Make no mistake, Palworld is getting smacked down by Nintendo because Palworld is better. Palworld is better than the new Pokemon games in every sense of the word. In exploration, in the monsters, I think they have cooler powers, and I just think they look better. But of course, that is my opinion, superficially on that front. But I do think that Palworld is just a overall better game in just so many ways. But that is all I have for you in this video. If you stayed this long, I just want to thank you. And make sure you like and comment. Let me know how you feel about this situation. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye now.